and welcome to Kingdom Builders TV. I am Louise Smith, and I'm so very excited to have this opportunity to talk with you about what's going on in the world of Kingdom Builders publications. Well, today it just happened to have a young woman to stop by our studio today, and we're going to talk with her about the journey that she's taken since the inception of her book and some other things. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Join us on the Jam Vibes TV network, streaming 24/7, 365 days a year, dedicated to Christian-based entertainment, changing lives for the better. JamVibesTVNetwork.com.
Welcome back. I am Louise Smith, and we are here today with the incomparable author, poet, just an orator in general. And her name is Marche Singleton. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing fantastic, and that's a lot to live up to.
Well, you have already done it. You have already done it. So, I met you a few years ago down at the McDonald's because there was a vision inside of you to make something happen. Do you remember that day?
I do remember that day.
Yes, let's talk about it right quick.
We will.
Yes.
And how we got there.
Yes.
How I met you.
Yes, indeed.
Once upon a time, I returned to Bible study. I met a wonderful man whose name I can't remember now.
Mm-hmm.
By chance, I said, "Oh, I need to get published," and he said, "I know a wonderful person." And I said, "Okay, it's time."
All right.
I was terrified because I've been ready, sort of, kind of, but apparently not ready enough. But when I met you in McDonald's that day, and I heard your cute little Charleston accent, I knew you could be trusted.
Wow.
With my life's work.
Wow.
So here I am.
Here you are.
Having a story to tell is wonderful because everybody has stories to tell.
Obviously.
But to be brave enough to be ready to really push out and hand your work over, hand your baby over to somebody.
Yes.
Can you bring this to more life than it already is?
Wow. I'm telling you, the day that I sat with this woman, Marche Singleton, it was like, I think the personality of Maya Angelou has come before me. Such a, how can I say, a metaphoric style of talk. So I was really looking forward to digging into the pages of what you would have to say, because everything you said was just filled with life, love, and experience.
Wow.
Yes. I think we sat together 2 hours.
A long time.
Yes.
We had ice cream and we warmed up coffee. I don't think we ordered anything actually.
We didn't need it because we was filled with what was being said in our place. And we couldn't share it at the time because it wasn't the time or it wasn't the place. And so I think right after that, you handed me a manuscript over, I don't know, over 250 pages.
Yes, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
And that means there's still a lot left to do.
Yes, a lot more to say. Yes, a lot more to say. And I think we signed a contract the first.
Yes, we practiced writing. In terms of signing contracts and redoing and reshaping, and the book really represents one of those times when not having a sufficient budget played in my favor.
Right.
What can you do when you can't afford the whole book? But stories have to be told, and they have to be told now.
Incrementally, they were deliciously placed. When you handed me your second manuscript, I was like, okay, now let's talk about the flubber of Kingdom Builders. You sent me the manuscript and I sent you back an edited portion. Well, this isn't what I sent you. Yes, you did. Oh, but I sent you another. So we just kept having these life experiences, but it didn't draw us not even farthest from our relationship. And I tell you, I am so thrilled that we finally got to meet the pages of your thoughts.
Yeah. It's wonderful it's bizarre in the sense when you think that the amount of time that went into it, because I was constantly playing hopscotch or catch up, or oh, I'm going to get back to you, and I'd get a call from you, well, are you still writing, are you still doing, and I was just so moved that you hadn't given up on me.
Oh, never.
So the book was important, but if you're writing a book, I guess if you're doing anything where someone else is going to produce your work, it is important as to who that person is, because patience is not just a virtue.
Yeah.
It's the seasoning and getting things cooking.
Yes.
You waited.
Yes.
While you lived your life.
Yes.
And I was living my life, and you're like, one day you're going to get published?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my purpose.
Yes.
And I think, to be perfectly honest to anyone who's listening, I think there was a piece of me that...
Yes, I'm sure.
I can't... After the book was completed, I received a book called Fearless. And I read it, and in it, like, oh, that's where
you found yourself.
I found my truth as to what was making me drag along.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now it's done. Now I have to do something else with it. Now I have to promote it.
Yeah.
And I think this really is a key. So often when we're putting eggs in the batter and we're making the bread and we think we got it, but once it's baked and people cut that slice, and you're going, oh my God, I hope they like it. Yeah. I think I was stuck there.
Yeah, you were still in the inhale part.
I was still baking.
Yeah.
When I should have been at dessert.
Yes.
So now this is dessert. Like, it's done.
It's done.
To God be the glory.
Yes.
I thank you so much for showing up at McDonald's, for waiting for me, for encouraging me, for living with me, for bringing it to life. And this is the doorknob of other things that have to happen.
And I am thrilled looking down the road because you're such an orator.
Okay.
You don't need necessarily pages, but you definitely want pages because legacy must continue to live. It must, and not just for your generation, but and not just the legacy of your children, while I know they're super duper proud.
They are, and that's exciting.
Yes.
That's truly exciting.
But generations and legacies to come, this is why we pen things down on paper. When God created the world, He created it with His mouth. But then things were written down so that we can constantly go back and research and look and be reminded.
And hear and feel that sentence that says, and he looked and he felt proud.
Yes, he was very happy about it.
So that's once I got over the fear of it being judged, that's my life.
Yeah.
If we missed a beat anywhere, you're still going to get the essence of the story.
Yeah.
And the stories really it's about faith. They're not all good starting stories, but they're good ending stories in that you see the building of faith, you see the building of a relationship with God, and also knowing that no matter what, no matter who you can see walking with you or not, God is always there. There's always a presence there.
Yes,
so
always.
It's like, oh my God, what now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sitting on the road with a flat tire. Oh, my car broke down and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And the person that was supposed to pay my car insurance didn't. And they're not coming to pick me up. So I'm just here waiting for my son when he gets here. And I get a call. Why is someone calling me while I'm on the line with Progressive, telling me my insurance has been canceled for 3 months? I get a call from Trinidad. And she said the Lord laid it upon her heart to call me at 2 a.m. in the morning. That story is not in here, but the essence of that is in here.
Yes.
So when it's not just your car breaking down, you got fired, you have children, the engagement didn't work, oh, the doctor said it doesn't look good. The list is endless of things that we do.
Yes, because we live the life, but it's not just how we live. It's not what happens to it. It's how we respond to what.
That really is the key, and that's what Wilderness Places is about. It's about walking out of an ugly place.
Yes,
we're all going to get stuck there.
Yeah, we could.
Absolutely.
We could get
You
stuck.
have to be careful that you don't get stuck there. Because if you do, then you don't really enjoy the life that God has given you. Like, oh my God, well, let's go to the park.
Yes.
It's all right. We'll have beans and rice. It's going to be good.
Yes, indeed.
Well, take whatever you have and make it a celebration.
And with our ethnicity, most times when we were growing up, we didn't know we was poor.
There's a story in the book in the beginning that
now.
references I had an assignment in 5th grade to this. I don't know, it was a description, literary something or other. We had to describe stuff. So we had to describe the color of our house. Like, that's an assignment. I go home and my house has no color because it's not painted. So it's like, so what color? I wasn't embarrassed or anything, like it has no color. Like, what am I going to? It's brown because it has no color. And it comes in shades. It's shades of brownness.
Yeah.
When it rains, it's a deep, warm brown.
Like chocolate in your cup.
That's soothing.
Yes.
And it kind of matches the pine trees
yes.
that are brown and bright green after the summer storm. Yes. That's the house I live in. And
it wasn't just that on the outside.
That's my inside.
But it's the cocoa of that feeling on the inside.
The house itself, by comparison or by talking to other people, we would have definitely been defined as poverty-stricken. We pumped water, we chopped wood, we had an outside bathroom. But what people forget, I had love. I never feared coming home. I never worried if there was food in the refrigerator.
Come on now.
I didn't have to ask permission to eat. Even though I was being raised by my aunt after my mother died and an aunt was murdered and we were removed from another aunt's house, I was safe. So I said at the end of the story, I painted my house. It was brown, but most of all, it was safe.
Wow. I love that.
And that really is key. What is poverty? What is richness? What are these things by other people's standards?
Yes.
We kill ourselves.
This is true.
Trying to fit in
or live up to somebody's definition. Yes.
So we were without certain things. I remember a comedian joking about his mother putting things on layaway so long that by the time she took them off, the season was over.
Yeah.
I
remember that.
I said, oh. Okay, that's that one.
Yeah. Well, let's go to inside the book.
Okay. And this is the book.
Yes.
Okay.
So what did it feel? Because our company is an international company. And a lot of our people are inside where we are, which is Columbia, South Carolina. And some are in other places, and you happen to be in Maryland. Mm-hmm. So, of course, we conversated and we carried on through. Whenever you could, you came through. But it was time for the book to be presented. And, of course, I like to be there when people open the book and, get that experience. But you called me and you said, was so exciting, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That has never happened in the history of Kingdom Builders Publications, that the first hello is not hello, it's
yeah, that was it. The postman delivered it, and someone, I live in Maryland predominantly now, and I write at my daughter-in-law's kitchen table, which has a very nice window, trees and so forth, and she placed it, or someone placed the package on the table, and I'm like, what is that? I rarely get mail here. And it was Wilderness Places. What does that mean? I know what it means, but why is it on the top of, on the package? I opened it, and there was it in life, living. That's why I was screaming.
Yes.
I will have the package it came in forever.
Wow.
I have the book forever.
Wow.
My son just left to go to New York today and asked if he could take it And I'm like, no, I only have the one of the first.
Yes.
This will always be with me.
Yes.
So
that's the heirloom.
Exactly.
Yes.
The one of the first. I wasn't there when the other 10 came, but my son was screaming. And he put it on one of the antique tables that we have and lit candles. And I have a piece of driftwood from Charleston, from
yes,
Beach,
now, yes,
that travels with me.
Come
so
on
it's
now.
currently at his house. So he put the driftwood, he did the candles, and he lined up the books.
That's romantic.
That was
That's
it.
A memorial. I love it. Oh my goodness.
And the stories in the book, my children lived through them.
Certainly.
So
Certainly.
they know them to be true. The porch food story.
I want you to talk about that.
It's probably the shortest and the most spiritual.
It's poignant, for real.
Of them.
Yes. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Marche Singleton, Wilderness Places.
Thank you.
And we're back. I am Louise Smith with Kingdom Builders TV, and we're having such an exciting time talking with Marche Singleton. And I used to call her Marche, but I really can't because she doesn't spell her name in that way. She spells it March with an E. Marche. It's kind of sexy. How in the world did that name come upon you?
The truth of the matter, it's the name of a hat box. I was told that my cousin, who was much older than I was, saw the name pronounced Marche, and she thought it was very cute and very sassy.
Yeah.
So my mother allowed her to do that. Unfortunately, after Mother died and we went so many other places, no one was spelling a Marche. What they were spelling was a Marche.
But when I met you and I saw your name, I was like, Marche.
Yeah, you're one of few.
Yes.
And I went through a whole life being Marche until after 9/11, when I returned to South Carolina and needed a new driver's license. She looked at my birth certificate and said the spelling is different, and I said yes, but my license says Marche, and she said yeah, but we have to use what's on your birth certificate here. So from here on, from 2004, I've been Marche on paper. But it's interesting that Marche is the savior of children.
Wow.
Which is what I did
That's
later.
your profession.
Yeah, that was my profession.
Yes.
So my family might have done a good thing by not finding my real name.
I love
Because I found my real purpose. In addition to writing, it was definitely saving the children.
That's beautiful. So before we go into one of the stories in the book, let's talk about your vocation and your occupation.
Well, for 100 years of my life, I wanted to be a criminal attorney.
Wow.
I'm not even close to that.
Wow.
I looked at the blue suit and the little briefcase, and it looked so sexy, and the money was good, and I wanted to do that. Plus, I'm not anti anything. I just standing up for justice. Let's fight for everything.
Yes.
And I wanted to do that. However, God scooted me over where I was supposed to be. And I got a temp job working with students, working with international students, and I didn't like how the university treated them. And I made it my business to dig and get all the information that was correct.
Right.
Because no one is going to get deported on my watch.
Mm-hmm.
I was just the secretary.
Right.
But information, it doesn't matter if it's right and if it's timing. It doesn't matter who delivers it.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love with it. And after that, I also started a college admission program for urban youth.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I didn't like the way the police dealt with them.
Wow.
So when I started Intended Purpose, and I walked up to a guy that looked like he might be selling drugs, and I said, if I could get you in school, would you go? And they would stand back like, Miss, What are you talking? If I could get you in school, would you go? Yes. And it would move me to tears.
Wow.
So that whole Marche, the savior of the children, it's like that was what I was born to do.
Wow.
And having the ability to write or listen to stories.
And that makes you a great covering for children, the Marche.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. So that's the history behind the name.
So that is all, but your vocation really is writing and speaking.
It's becoming more that now, because I think I was able to get more than 100 kids into colleges outside of the New York City area, who now have PhDs, they have wives, they have husbands, they have a life. But whoever needed to be caught up in that mix, that's done.
Yes.
So now in the second wave of my life, as I turned 70 and celebrated a whole new beginning.
Yes, now.
It's a new time. It's a new era. Different information needs to get out. And this is why this was waiting. I wrote something the other day about timing being the seasoning that brings all the ingredients together.
Absolutely.
It's the skills and the talents and the desires and the intentions.
Yes.
That's what timing does.
Yes.
And that's where we are in the book. Yes. Absolutely.
So we were talking about earlier the story in the book, The Porch Food. I would love for you to go a little bit more into that, and you could even read an excerpt if you desire.
When I find my glasses. But without the glasses, I will tell you the story.
Yes.
Porch Food is a combination of points. It's a point to say that you have to be a participant in your prayer request. It is a point in making the request is made, but you don't know who's going to deliver it. And it's also in honor of the man that brought the food, who has since passed on.
I really thank you for writing Wilderness Places. Everybody has them, but you don't have to live constantly in the wilderness.
Right.
There is a place to come on out.
Right.
You know.
You have the subtitle is The Underbrush of Life Circumstances. And that really is, I remember initially when I was writing it, and someone I talked to about getting the book ready for print and editing and all that, she said, well, is it about the forest? Is it about athletics? And she wanted me to kind of change the title.
I'm glad you did.
And I thought about that, if it's on the shelf, where is she going to put Wilderness Places? Is it okay with hunting, fishing? No, it's with living. Yes. That's where it's going to be, with living. And the wilderness, the true wilderness, is the underbrush of its life circumstances.
Absolutely. It's just a great, emotional, heartwarming story of someone's life. So it can be in inspiration, memoirs, but whatever you do need to look up Wilderness Places by Marche Singleton. When we get back, we're going to discover where you can get her and get her material, her first book, Wilderness Places. We'll be right back.
Join us on the Jam Vibes TV network, streaming 24/7, 365 days a year, dedicated to Christian-based entertainment, changing lives for the better. JamVibesTVNetwork.com.
Well, we're back at our final segment. Today, Marche has just been delightful hanging out with you at our set here at Kingdom Builders TV. You are a remarkable author, and you live your life well. Regardless of what you go through, you do get to the other side.
And this is urgent.
Yes, absolutely. So tell the people how they can get in contact with you, and you can use your social media, you could use your address, however you want to do it.
You can certainly reach me on my email, which is M as in Marcia, SINGL 5289 @yahoo.com. I would love to hear from you. I need your feedback. If you understood the stories, if you felt the stories, if you want the book that has the stories, please contact me.
Yes. And you have a social network, yes?
I do.
Yes.
Yes, I'm on Facebook, and you can reach me there as well.
And how do they reach you? Under?
It's Marche Singleton, MarcheSingleton.
Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's just been fabulous hanging out with you today. Again, I am Louise Smith, and we will expect you to do what it is that's in your heart to do, because we only have one body, one life, one soul, and we are to divide ourselves into many areas so that when we leave, we live completely empty. So, with that being said, we'll see you next time, same channel. God bless.